If you're willing to do permanent harm to your body to get the accolades of strangers, bro, something's wrong up here. Something's missing, bro.
Nowadays it's not like that. It's more, we're going to pretend that it's real, so we're going to risk hurting people more at the expense of making it seem real, but it's still not. It's scripted. Wrestling is, it's always an ability to get hurt, as we know with injuries, but at the same time it's still scripted, it's still pre-planned, it's still, the punches aren't real punches, or otherwise you'd be charged with assault, right? And so it's not that, unless it's sanctioned like an MMA or something like that, but it's not. But so what's the big gap? Why isn't there a bridge between, the very character driven, storyline driven, babyface heel, characters and shows of yesteryear versus what we see today? Why is there such a big gap? And can it ever be filled? Can it ever come together again in some form or fashion?
Bro, I honestly believe that big gap is social media. I honestly believe that's the big gap because, bro, I'm telling you, man, when I was in the office of the WWF, when I started, it was called the Stooge Report. And Finkel was in charge of putting together this the Stooge Report and giving it to the people in Vince's Inner Circle so they could see what Dave Meltzer was saying about the business. But to be honest with you, bro, it was really provided for entertainment. He had no impact, no say whatsoever on the wrestling business whatsoever. Then all of a sudden, bro, you get into this area of social media and everybody has a voice and everybody's an authority. And all of a sudden, bro, the performers want to get so over, with this crowd.
Yeah, it kills kayfabe.
Absolutely, bro. And they want to get so over with the crowd that they start catering to the crowd. And I am telling you, because I do a show called Castrating the Marks every single week, I'm listening to their shows every single week. Bro, if you are a person that never listened to any wrestling shows and you just tuned into these shows, I'm talking Meltzer, Alvarez, Shera, Johnson. I'm talking these shows. If I tuned in for the first time, the first thing I would say is, do these guys think this is real? Because that's what it sounds like, bro. They're talking about this when they start talking about Japan and the G block and the A block. And well, if this guy beats this guy and that guy beats this guy, you would swear, bro, they've convinced themselves that it's real. And then, bro, that has also had an influence on the work. We're going to make this look real. And bro, listen, if wrestling wants to draw, and that's the mentality, I've been saying this for years, bro, then do it for real. Like, honestly, bro, you want ratings, bro, then go out there and you're hurting each other anyway. So what difference does it make? Go out there and do it for real. Bro, listen, when we talk about, really the birth of the WWF, I'll give you just one piece of memorabilia that you can go back to and you could say, okay, this was wrestling. And bro, look at the wrestling album. Just if anybody, bro, you'll probably never find a copy. Go online, look at the wrestling copy, look at the front, look at the back, look at the fold inside, look at the songs. That was wrestling.
Stand Back was on the wrestling album.
Stand Back was on the wrestling album, yes. Rick Derringer with Real American, which we'll call it, Jive Soul Bro.
Yeah, Slick.
Jive
Yeah.
Soul Bro was on
Yeah.
the album. Yes. Girls in Cars with
Cars and Cars.
yeah,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
That was
That was
wrestling.
Strike Force, right?
I think so. Yeah.
Mhm.
That was wrestling. You want to know what wrestling is today? Put on AEW. That's wrestling. So how did we go from this to that? Social media. So social media it's what's in the middle where I don't know, bro. It's something about these young kids like just want to be liked and loved by everybody to the point of willing to do harm to themselves.
Yeah.
Which is ridiculous. Which is, bro, like literally you need to go see somebody like Dr. Chris. If you're willing to do permanent harm to your body to get the accolades of strangers, bro, something's wrong up here. Something's missing, bro.
Yeah. A major seek for affirmation.
Yes, that's it. That's what it is, bro.
Yeah, yeah. I'm trying to check out Roman Reigns' Twitter. You know, I mean, someone who has a really, really big presence still in the wrestling in the wrestling sphere. Almost 5 million. He retweeted his recent, interview with Logan Paul. He does like it's really business. It's really business. Like a lot of it is very, very business oriented.
Yeah,
which I can appreciate.
Yeah, the big stars aren't going to interface like Tony Khan.
And that's why I guess to me that's the reason why it's important to maintain your character, and that's what makes it feel, because perception, like your perception is your reality. I'm not a big fan from a psychological standpoint to say perception is reality. I think that your perception is your reality. And a lot of times perception is created to feel like it's real. And when it comes to wrestling, that should be the case. When it comes to characters, you know that this person is in some island of relevancy, and there's in some type of big, person who is so narcissistic and egocentric that he wants everyone to acknowledge him. But that makes a really good heel because he's telling people to acknowledge him. Right. And if he keeps that character just across the board, he makes a character that's very easy to hate. But if you're on social media all the time talking about how beautiful your wife is and kids and all that, like social media is where people cling to all the time. And if that's a whole different person than your character, there's no the buy-in is a lot less there. What do you on your social media point there? Why do you think it's so important for people like big names or even wrestlers period to really separate the two and really focus on honing in their character? And where do you think Roman Reigns is right now as far as just setting the precedence of that and whatever Roman Reigns
see about? Bro, it's a slippery slope, and let me tell you why. It's a very, very slippery slope because, bro, I'll give you me for instance. I use social media 90% of the time to promote everything that I'm doing. 10% of the time, I'll throw out a Vince Russoism just to get people chattering and talking. Yeah. So that's how I use it. But it's a slippery slope, bro, because like a Roman Reigns, a Ronda Rousey, a Miz with his television show, these big stars, if I was them, I would be using it to promote what I'm doing. Especially
Reigns with almost 5 million followers.
Exactly. However, bro, on the other side of the coin, here's the slippery slope. These wrestlers know they're not going to be with the WWE forever. And they've seen so many cuts that you could be let go like that. Yeah. So what they're trying to do, bro, is they're trying to build their personal brand so people know who they are once they're not with the WWE. And bro, it's like, I get that side of it too. Yeah. Because all of a sudden, if everybody thinks I'm Roman Reigns, and all of a sudden one day I disappear, how do they know I'm Joe Blow and where they can find me? You know what I'm saying, bro? Yeah. So it's a real slippery slope.
I agree with that. I think it's important to use such a big brand like the WWE I think you should cash out as much as possible. I was even having a conversation recently with a part of management, and it's like, man, we just like, it's important as a from a business standpoint, because I'm very business minded. You got to cash out as much as you possibly can, and if there's still money in something, cash out as much as possible. Go back to that pay window, as Dusty Rhodes used to say. And I think with Roman Reigns, I think it's important to cash out on the WWE brand and keep going there and use the WWE brand as part of creating the Roman Reigns brand, and keep cashing out on that and still be your character, still doing that. And if somehow you were to drop, then Joe Anoa'i comes along, but by that time you have 5 million followers.
But bro, I don't think we're talking about the Roman Reigns because he doesn't need the money. So he's got more. I'm talking about, bro, those mid-card people that know I'm not going to be here forever. I don't know when my last day could be. I better let them get familiar with who I really am. Those are the people that I'm talking about. And bro, I totally understand.
Yeah, but I think it's still,
I
think it still limits someone to not hone into the character for me to for me to buy into you even more. You know what I mean? Like if there's like a Chad Gable or something like that, really cool character with the shoosh and the and all that. But it's like if it's like Chad Gable here and then another person, there, it's like you're not. I want you to buy into the character more and really milk that from a public standpoint. You know what I mean? That's where people cling to you more. Yeah. And then if you get let go, you've already got all that momentum from the WWE, branding you and promoting and stuff like that. By the time you already have 1 million followers close to it, or 700,000 followers. Now you can just put a picture on, Twitter, and they're going to go and support you. So it's a slippery slope, but I think it's important to really still hone in your character and use that for your advantage, the WWE bubble.
Yeah, but I guarantee you, Chris, it's a little different, bro, when you're talking about wrestling marks and casual fans.
Yeah.
Because the casual fans, if Paige disappears, the casual fans that are not on wrestling sites, they may have no idea where to find. Obviously, the marks are going to know your name and this, that, and the other thing. But, that 1 million people that you're talking about, a lot of them are just casuals, bro.
Well, even with the Chad Gable, for instance, like the people, casual fans. I mean, I respect the heck out of Chad Gable's work. But I mean, there's no casual fans that really know who Chad Gable is,
That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying. Once he walks away from the WWE, they don't know who this guy is.
And I think at that time, that's when you say, okay, well, Chad Gable's gone, but still I got Chad Gable followers from, really honing my character in WWE.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because there's nothing like I would be more interested in like MJF, for instance. I'm much more interested in following MJF's, character even outside the ring than I care about MJF as a person. You know what I mean? Like I don't really care. You know what I mean? Like I understand that he has a personal life, but that's not how wrestling is. I mean, you have personal lives, true, but typically personal lives, they stay incognito, basically.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
yeah.
Interesting conversation there. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this guy is not incognito because his presence is on the interwaves. It's on Twitter. It's on the channelattitude.com. It's on russosbrand.com. It's everywhere, man. Let them know, my man.
Yeah, guys, check it out. Channelattitude.com. You can get Russo's brand on there. Everything else that we do, man. A lot of variety, bro. I'm sure you'll like something on there. Channelattitude.com.
Indeed. Follow him. Follow me at Chris Prolific. You're at the Vince Russo, right?
Yes, the Vince Russo on Twitter. Yes.
The Vince Russo, Chris Prolific, writing with Russo. Brother. Solo.